Yeah, with that montage, it's pretty clear that we like some Tomb Raider on this channel.
Yeah, it's fair to say that we like Tomb Raider.
You think so too?
Yeah, just a little.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. So, when the new game dropped, it was a no-brainer that we were going to have to pick it up. I mean, after all, I guess we're the Tomb Raider guys, at least according to you people. Anyway, before you guys click off the video, please don't do that. This is going to be the Brotherhood of Gaming's review of Tomb Raider, Rise of the Lara Croft.
Wait, Rise of the what? That's not the title.
What do you mean that's not the title? Tomb Raider, Return of the Tombs.
Nuh-uh.
Tomb Raider Rises.
Dragon.
Star Wars.
Fucking really?
Rise of the Tomb Raider. Is that it?
Yes, damn it, jeez.
Oh, review time.
To be perfectly honest, our attitude toward this game was, well, we had no attitude. The Xbox exclusivity fiasco and the lack of entertaining E3 trailers kind of dulled our excitement for it. And while we did like the 2013 reboot, and still do, our opinion of it has unfortunately gone down a bit. Obviously, they were trying to remarket Tomb Raider for a broader audience, but in doing so, they really strayed away from what makes the series so beloved. You know, the tombs. It is hilarious that when promoting the sequel, they kept saying that we are bringing the tombs back, we're putting the tombs back in Tomb Raider. Our question was, why the hell were they taken out in the first place?
Now, the reboot of Tomb Raider, the first one, primarily focused on action and running and gunning, as the tombs were pretty much kind of relegated to being a single room that was off to the side that you could probably beat with very little effort, and probably could avoid altogether. And needless to say, because of this, a lot of old-school die-hard Tomb Raider fans were pretty upset about that. And, well, they were quite vocal about it. I won't say they were as upset as, let's say, Devil May Cry fans when it came to the DMC reboot, but it was quite vocal. So, the big question is here. Can Rise of the Tomb Raider bring back that old experience of going through tombs and resurrecting that nostalgic feel that we all had as kids for Tomb Raider?
William? The door.
Oh, you want to be in this review too? What, you like Tomb Raider?
Ooh, he looks pissed.
Alright, fine.
Thanks, you're all heart.
No, Mega Man!
The story picks up some time after the events of the 2013 reboot, and we find that Lara Croft is quite different now than she was when she first got shipwrecked on that island. No longer trying to make her own mark and distance herself from her past, she has instead become bound and determined to restore the Croft name to prominence. It was believed that her father died in vain, destroyed by his own crazy obsession, and now Lara's friends are fearful that she too will suffer the same fate. This leads Lara to Siberia in a race against a secret organization known as the Trinity to uncover an ancient myth that could lead to immortality.
Now, the basic gameplay from the reboot does return here in Rise of the Tomb Raider. However, this time around, it is far more refined and expanded upon.
Rise of the Tomb Raider features a much larger world map, with more areas to explore, exploits to uncover, and more challenges to accept. While you do have the main story to follow, you can also veer off the beaten path. The game just offers so much more this time around. Now, the tombs are optional like before, but they are much more extensive and evolved. You won't be able to breeze through them here. It's likely you will stumble upon multiple tombs and secret caves simply by exploring the overworld or following the main story. The developers were really clever in making sure there was enough raiding to go around in a tomb or even outside one. And as any good Tomb Raider fan knows, figuring out these giant puzzles are more than half the fun. Along the way, you will meet up with allies in which you can accept side quests for, and completing these will fetch you nice rewards that Lara can use. So taking advantage of the many tombs, secret caves, and quests is definitely handy.
This game is very craft heavy, forcing you to scavenge the surrounding areas looking for weapons and tools, and increasing your XP. This will allow you to upgrade your weapons and materials. In addition, there are monoliths that will require you to improve Lara's language skills by reading certain markings. You will need to improve these skills in order to advance on some of the hidden secrets. Being that this is a Square Enix game, you can definitely see that the RPG element has been infused into the gameplay. But here, it works. It's not Lara pushing a box and saying, "I feel stronger now." Here, it feels more natural and well implemented. Quite frankly, this game is bursting with personality. The world feels so alive, with so many various trails to navigate. This game doesn't feel linear at all. Instead, it feels like an open realm just begging for discovery. Not to mention deep, dark caves with plenty of wildlife to make your acquaintance, such as wolves, tigers, bears, and some pretty exotic ones as well. You can use their carcasses as materials for upgrades, or if a side quest demands it.
Like with the previous game, you can find camps where you can upgrade your basic skills, which are Hunter, Scavenger, and Brawler.
Not to mention the fast track option that'll instantly teleport you to previous areas that you've already been to.
The fighting functions are identical, with duck and cover, aiming, taking pot shots, and brawling when getting up close and personal. These all take up place in enclosed areas. There are also set pieces which require you to run as fast as you can. As usual, there are protruding areas that indicate where you can grab on, and what areas you can climb or use your pickaxe or any other traversing item. In addition, there are also some brand new equipment that you can create. So get to creating! The graphics are a sight to behold, from the gorgeous terrain and the character models.
Lara Croft has never before looked so expressive, and she moves just as fluently as you would expect her to. Tomb Raider games just keep on getting prettier and prettier each time, and this one is definitely no exception.
Another feature that returns is Lara's rating sense that you can activate by pressing the R3 button. This allows you to see objects of interest in the current area. You can upgrade this as well, which will allow you to see things like hidden traps. While it is handy, it is also a little annoying that you'll have to press this button over and over and over again in order to make sure that you didn't miss anything. It is a necessary evil that many games have these days.
One big improvement is Lara herself. In the reboot, honestly, she kind of got on our nerves a little bit with her constant screaming and crying and her "Oh! Oh! Oh!" We understand that it was her first time in that situation, and so it comes with the territory, but now she feels like Lara Croft, with much more spunk, aggressiveness, and emotion. It is the return of the badass. However, she again gets the bejesus beaten out of her too.
Seriously, Lara Croft must suffer like 20 concussions during the entire run of this adventure. You know, realistically, the human skull is not capable of taking this kind of abuse.
Her musical theme that was established in the first game returns here. That, and the rest of the soundtrack, also sounds great. They also cleverly use the music in some areas as a way to warn of incoming danger. When you move into a dark area, and if there's no enemies around, things are pretty quiet. But when bad guys approach, the beat picks up. It adds to the emotion of the scene, and is a nice touch.
Now, this game, of course, is not perfect, as there were a couple of issues that we did have with it.
First, this game did have its fair share of some glitches and bugs, but at least there's nothing too noticeable here, or even game-breaking for that matter, so it's hardly even worth mentioning. On normal mode, this game admittedly is pretty easy and there is no real consequence if you die. You can just pick up right where you left off, as the checkpoints are very forgiving. But fortunately, there are 2 more difficult modes if you guys want to be more adventurous and have things be a little more, hard. While Lara is well developed, the rest of the cast is kinda pretty two-dimensional and standard, and some of the voice acting can get laughably bad in terms of gameplay.
The game also has gravity issues, like when sometimes Lara makes a jump, you can see her getting pushed through the air, or when she mysteriously gets pulled into a hole in the ground, which meets a spiky climax. There is one issue with this game that we did have, and we do admit this is personal preference, and that is the excessive cursing. There's quite a bit of language in this game, including a few F-bombs. And was it really necessary? It feels like it was only done to push the M rating. Now, we don't have virgin ears, but it just came off as really needless.
With the first game, the developers were trying something new by taking the character to her roots and reimagining her. For the first new outing, they heavily leaned on the Uncharted and Assassin's Creed formula, with mixed success. But here, they seem to have finally found their footing and managed to achieve a nice balance between action and exploring and giving the game its own identity.
Personally, we're very happy that the original Lara Croft's adventures are still continuing in games like Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris, Relic Run, Lara Croft Go, and not to mention her ongoing series in Dark Horse Comics. The Reboot is the one getting the big releases, however, which is understandable. But as long as they keep moving in this direction and improving, we will have very little to complain about.
Now again, we had no preconceived notions as to when we sat down and played Rise of the Tomb Raider. We just popped the game in and let it wow us. So, our final verdict on the game. Is it a must-have? Oh yeah. Not only does it surpass the 2013 reboot of Tomb Raider by far, it is hands down worthy of the title of Tomb Raider.
If you own an Xbox One, make this game a part of your collection. If you own a PS4 or play your games on the PC, unfortunately you're going to have to wait till next year until this game drops. But trust us, it's worth it.
Well guys, that is our review of Rise of the Tomb Raider. It was a great game. We hope you enjoyed the review. Now please be sure to favorite, like, subscribe, and share it with everybody you know and love, because they need to see us too. So, see you next time on the next gaming review. And before we go, just to let you guys know, because I know many of you are asking, yes, Tomb Raider Chronicles The Speed Run is coming soon. Just give us time.
In the meantime, keep on gaming.
And we'll see you next time.
Right.